Stu Armstrong with interviews that pack a punch.
Hello, welcome to Radio Northumberland. My name's Stu Armstrong and this is the Stu Armstrong Interview. Where on each show I interview someone from the world of combat sports. My background, as you may know, is that of the author of the Diaries of a Doorman series of books and a patron of the charity Choose Lives Not Knives. This week I've got a very special guest for you, somebody who a couple of days ago was one half of a duo that made North East boxing history. It's Popular Peter Dodds. How are you doing, mate?
Me fine, champion.
I see you made history the weekend. I don't know, do you want to explain to everybody how you made history, or do you want me to go into it?
Well, basically it was a boxing fight what I had the last man standing fight.
Yep.
I've already had a fight with him once before. It was about 6 months ago.
At the Park Hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the Park Hotel. Then obviously I won that one, and he wanted a rematch with us. Obviously the first time I fought him, he was a lot heavier than us.
Yeah.
So we agreed to have the fight. Well, sorry, it wasn't. It was supposed to be a 4-man tournament at first. And I think many pullouts happened. So my trainer, Mark Ferguson, decided to have a last man standing fight.
Yep.
It's basically just the winner. You've got to either knock the person out, or the person has got to quit, basically. Yeah. So you may as well say it's like old school rules of boxing.
Yeah. There's something sort of
years ago.
When they say last man standing, there's something quite different as well. If people that don't know, I believe it's unlimited rounds. Is that right?
Yes. Well,
yeah.
Well, it's unlimited rounds, but it's still a time limit on rounds. As I say, but basically it's like till someone basically drops or gets knocked out or quits, basically.
So, I mean, boxing that you do, what you call boxing, you normally fight 3 2-minute rounds. Is that right?
Yes. And
I think this is what's really made history. Peter and Stu, they didn't do 3 2-minute rounds. They actually did 23 2-minute rounds. That's absolutely amazing, that. 23, it's just, I mean, I think it was timed at an hour and 19 minutes, the actual fight.
Yeah, basically it's unheard of.
It is. It's. I was totally shocked. I mean, I couldn't make it. So a friend of mine from the NE6, Dave Wheel, he was keeping us up to date. And he said, right, 14th round, 15th round, 16th round. It was absolute crazy, that. I mean, did you think it would go that many rounds?
Personally speaking, me, no. I knew Stu wanted it, and it was a big fight for him. Well, basically, it was a big fight for both of us, because, like I say, it was for the last man standing title.
Yep.
And, so that's why my trainer, say Mark Ferguson's my trainer, and his dad, David Ferguson, both of them are great in the boxing history.
Yep.
Obviously, they trained me the best they could, and obviously they knew I had a basically heart of a lion if they're not quitting. So that's why they offered this fight. But you're saying, I don't know. I can't explain it. How it went that far. It's like the lad himself, he wanted it and all, and basically it was I just can't explain the fight. It was just that hard.
I mean, I know both of you personally. It was a bit of a grudge match at first. You didn't particularly like each other. Is that still the same now?
No, I understand what you're saying. It was a grudge match, but I figure a lot of people were putting a lot of stuff in the pot for it to get stirred to make it into that. Yes, it was more of a grudge because of me winning the first fight. Yeah. But I think it was a lot of people talking, making the fight bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And I've got to say, the fight was a lot of people were talking about it. And I'm not just saying it just because I was in that fight myself, but the fight what me and Stuart had it's made history in unlicensed boxing. Because I personally speaking, I don't think no one will ever beat that fight what me and him had on Sunday night. Because I don't think you'll ever get a fight like that again. It wasn't one round like tippy-tappy, next round tippy-tappy. It was the full 23 rounds of hardcore fighting.
Well, I've spoken to a few people that were ringside to say I couldn't make it, and the way it's been described to me is from round one, it was absolute toe-to-toe, full-on war all the way through. Yeah,
war, basically. It was like, end of the day, well, I don't know what round it was, because I basically just got lost in the rounds. But I actually twisted my ankle I don't know, it might have been 17th or 16th round, and my ankle bone actually popped out the socket, and actually went back in the socket. I think what kept us going was really more my adrenaline.
Yeah.
But like, if I didn't have my boxing boots on, I think my ankle would have snapped.
Yeah.
But it's like my trainer says, he says, well, he didn't really want to continue, but like, I basically says, listen, I am not quitting. That was the rules of the fight. Basically, last man standing.
Yeah.
And I was not letting Stuart win on me quitting, because then I'm not a quitter. I would have fought that kid hopping on one leg.
Well, that doesn't surprise us at all. I mean, the sort of rules of it for quitting, I believe it's either, well, to end the fight, it's either a knockout, one of the two fighters wanting to stop, or advice of medical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how did the fight actually end then?
Basically, I think it was concerns through the cornerman. I don't know if the medical staff give my trainer advice or it, but basically it was for health and safety for me and Stu. I think that basically because they say he wasn't quitting, I wasn't quitting, no chance. I think it was basically, yes, I was gutted like when it was the last round, but like relieved, if you know what I mean. But it probably was the right decision, because they say, you know what boxing's like, Stu. It's a brutal sport.
It is.
One wrong move, and I could be lying in hospital now, of the same as Stuart. He could be lying in hospital now.
That's it. I mean,
nobody's known. It's not that. It's a young man's game now, man. I'm 8 years of age this year. Yeah. I'm fighting kids. It's took it out of me a lot, this fight.
I bet it has. 23rd round, it's nothing to be sniffed at.
Nah.
I mean, when you went into the 23rd round, did you know that was going to be the last round?
Well, my trainer did say it might be the last round. I think basically, well, I remember from, it was maybe round 15, he says, we don't know if we can take it any further, because obviously with the problems, if we're having safety. But I just think, obviously, we're getting the crowd going, the crowd loved it. But like I say, I think it was the right choice to train us if the referee calling it a time of 23 rounds.
Yeah, I think it was well all credited there. I think there was a big chance of either one of you being sort of permanently damaged, but luckily neither of you are. I mean, I've seen photographs of you both on Facebook, both yourself and Stu ugly to start with, but you're even worse now. So, we've got battle wounds. That's it. So, now, well, 2 days later, how are you feeling now? Does it feel like after a normal sort of fight that you would have, like the three?
No, yesterday I was completely drained, sore, my body was aching. Today I'm feeling a bit better, but I'm still sore, like, my arms, my body's sore. But like, I was just drained yesterday, just completely just shattered, just couldn't move, you know. But like today I'm feeling a lot better, but it's still tired.
So, is there any chance of a rematch between the two? Because I believe it ended on a draw, is that right?
Yeah. I think, well, me and Stuart on Sunday night, we've called it a time where basically I've got nothing to prove to him, and he's got nothing to prove to me.
Thank goodness for that.
So,
I don't think either of you've got anything to prove to anybody after that performance.
Not really. See, there will be a lot of people robbed. End of the day, if no one was there if anyone tried to contradict the fight, what we had, if you weren't there, I basically just be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it's annoying when people say things when they weren't even in the fight, do you know?
Massively. I mean, I've seen a few things on Facebook and things. Some people saying Stu got robbed, some people saying you got robbed.
Yeah, at the end of the day, no one got robbed because the stipulation of the fight was last man standing. We could go on a few things, but like, at the end of the day, it was a fair decision.
If you're happy with it, Stu's happy with it, that's what counts, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a classical fight.
Yeah, and I bet all the people that are saying these things weren't even at the fight.
Yeah,
It's always the case, isn't it? Always the case. So, what's next for you then, Peter? Are you looking at any more fights? Or
I don't know. Sure, obviously, say with me, just with my age kicking in now, I would look to have another one. I'm going to have a sit down and have a word with my trainer and my coaches. It's like say Mark Ferguson is my trainer and a personal friend and all. So I'm going to have a sit down and have a word with him, see where to go from there. If I don't fight again, I've went out on a high, basically. He's asked us and all if I want to busy help out in the gym and train the kids. So I've got a lot of options. I don't know. See, yes, I would love to have that fight because there is people who want to fight us. You know, there's probably a big list of people who are after me.
Yeah.
But, you know, because they want to step in the ring with us. Personally speaking, I don't know if I could hack another last man standing fight. We'll see.
I don't think many people want to get in the ring with you now. When you've stood there for 23 rounds, mate.
We'll see. But you see, I'm not seeing nothing yet about my future because I would like to have a heart-to-heart chat with me. Well, as you say, with my trainers.
That's it. I mean, Mark will give you some good advice. He certainly knows the game inside out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's it. So, what about the actual title and the belt itself? With it being a draw, what will happen to that?
I think what Mark's going to do, I think he's agreed on it. Well, because he mentioned this Stu the other day, I think he's getting Stuart a copy of the belt. I'll be getting a copy of the belt and all. So basically, he's got last man standing title belt, and I've got last man standing title belt. Yeah.
I think it's both massively deserve it. I mean, it's something it's going to be talked about for years. If 23 rounds, it's just unheard of. It's just unheard of, that amount of rounds. I mean, I've done some research, and the most I can find is 14 rounds.
Yeah, well, basically, Stu, you're not the only person who actually said that about rounds. But most people, like that's what someone it was actually my brother-in-law says. Most people, what they've done is 14 rounds, and that's like honestly, it's just I can't explain what actually kept us up there. Just some parts I was like. Energy, basically the energy was just flowing through my body. It was just great atmosphere. It was just great. I had my wife there. I had my eldest son there, who is 17 years old. He was there. He always comes to watch us boxing. You know, I've actually got a lot of support in doing the boxing. I've actually got a massive following. Really, it's quite exciting. Really, at times I think that's what's going to get to us. When I do hang up my gloves, you know, but I've got to do it sometime. And if I do it now, it's going to be on a good note. Because you see, my next fight, I may get beat, you know, and I can't retire on getting lost. So I need to, like I said before, I need to have a sit down and talk to me trainers about it to see where to go next.
I don't think you'll ever better this fight.
No, I don't think so.
Were you surprised it's Stu? Because I mean, I know you've fought before. He's came a long way in the last 6 months, I think. Were you surprised at
massively
his determination and skill as well?
Yes, massively. The lad's come a hell of a long way from where he was in 6 months ago. But like I say, like I don't know what it is, but every time someone wants to fight me, they seem to put 110% in the gym. Yeah. Because they say I've got a quite a good record in the boxing. They say the Stu, hats off to the kid, well done. If he keeps up what he's doing now in the boxing, he could go quite far. Yeah, he could do well. Because I think he's only 22 years of age. You know, and like I say, he can take some good punches. Because I was giving him some good. Hiding some good punches and vice versa. He was hiding me and all. Yeah. And like, he even sent us a message yesterday saying, how on earth do you not go down off all them body shots? You know, just the end of the days, I wasn't going nowhere, me. Yeah. Well, I know what you like. It's just sheer grit and determination, isn't it? Yeah, that's it is. Well, at the end of the day, I tortured in the gym. Yeah. And if I would rather get tortured in that ring than go out the ring, get called a quitter. Yeah. So, you know... Nobody can ever call you that. Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's like now after that fight, me and Stu have probably gained a hell of a lot of respect in the boxing history of unlicensed. Because you see, it's never been heard of before in the unlicensed boxing. If someone going, well, in unlimited fights, and there's someone fighting 23 rounds. No, I've never heard of it. I don't think it's ever been done. So, no one will believe it'll happen. Someone will try and copy it.
Oh, they will. They will.
Someone will try and copy the fight what we had, but I don't think it'll ever get to what me and him done.
But I think if somebody tries to copy it, it'll never be the same, because I bet neither of you thought in a million years it would be 23 rounds.
No, I think even my trainer, he thought maybe it's most 10 rounds.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember one time in the fight, I actually lost count.
Yeah.
Of the rounds, and I said, how many rounds are done? He said, I think he said about 14, but it wasn't. It was actually 18 were done. And then I just lost count.
Yeah.
It was just my mind was just. See, but my mind was just focused on him.
Yeah.
Just basically, that's what was on my mind. Just still fighting him. Just at the end of the day, both are classed as gladiators.
Well, you definitely are after that. I mean, especially when it's normal, both of you would normally fight 3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an extra 20 rounds. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you'd normally fight for, 6 minutes all in all?
Yeah.
And I believe it was clocked at 1 hour, 19 minutes of fighting
Yeah,
time.
it's not right.
It's unreal. I mean, I know I've put a couple of things on Facebook, and some of the friends I've got down south who follow boxing, they thought I'd made a mistake, and they thought I meant 3. Then they thought I meant 13. People were totally shocked. Yeah, I mean, I certainly was. So
yeah, well, it's definitely. I think it's put a big spanner in the boxing work.
Can you see the unlicensed? I mean, normally it's sort of like the 3 2-minute rounds. Do you think maybe the number of rounds will go up after this?
Well, personally speaking, in my point of view, I think the rounds should be longer.
Yeah.
But maybe not longer, but more rounds. I think in unlicensed, maybe the round should be up to 5, at least 5. Because I think 3 is maybe too short. Because like to me, I like a slow start on boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Like first round, I like to get a feel. But like when it's only 3 rounds, it's basically all go, the bell going. You know, I would like for the unlicensed to go to 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Long as obviously, because you don't get some unlicensed shows where they're just badly organised. No medical staff there. Now, as long as they've got decent medical staff, decent promoter, I think 5 rounds is the ideal rounds if unlicensed, because unlicensed now it's getting huge. It's huge in the northeast. Yeah,
well, I was interviewing somebody the other day, Jack Johnson, who fights unlicensed, and the way he likes to call it is semi-pro, and I think that's quite a good way. I think it's quite a good way of calling it, actually. Yeah,
that's the way I would say, no, semi-pro. It's called unlicensed because it's not licensed by any government body, basically. But, like, people think, oh, yeah, it's only unlicensed boxing. But they don't understand there's actually some really, really good boxers in unlicensed boxing. There was one on our show. He actually won the King of the Ring, last man stand.
Mickey Terrell.
Yeah, Mickey Terrell. And he's outstanding, him. He did K1 and all that.
Yep. And he's a champion of K1 as well.
Yeah, he is. His boxing skills are just absolutely just extraordinary. He's just technical and everything.
Yeah.
Class.
He is. Like, his Facebook posts are a little bit dodgy, and I'm sure you know what I mean by that, Mickey, if you're listening. But he's a cracking fighter in K1 and boxing.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he's more or less at the top of the game in K1.
I would. Now, here's the best thing about him all. He's a really genuine lad, nice lad, nice kid.
He is. I know him as well. He is. He's a lovely bloke. He's an absolutely lovely fella. Right, well, that's fantastic, mate. Thank you very much for speaking to us today.
No problem.
We're hoping to get Stu on maybe next week. He is up and breathing because I have spoken to him, so that's not the reason. He was back to work today, poor soul. But never mind. That's fantastic. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 9. Yeah, mate.
Could I just say a big thank you to obviously Mark Ferguson and David Ferguson. They're my trainers for Team Ferguson. If I didn't have them two as my trainers, I wouldn't be the person who I am now. So like I say, I would just like to thank obviously my Team Ferguson trainers, Mark and David Ferguson. They just thank you for getting us where I am.
Well, you can't go much better than that. I mean, you've got North East boxing history. The two of them put together probably know more about boxing than anybody in the world. That's it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Chaz.
Great to speak to you, mate.
Chaz, thank you, Stu.
Don't forget to listen every Wednesday at 9 on Radio Northumberland. Free online and worldwide at www.radionorthumberland.com.
Stu Armstrong with interviews that pack a punch.